All right, hey everybody, and welcome to another Green Square Talks Battlebots podcast. So this is the first prediction podcast of the new season of Battlebots, and I'm presenting you the first fight card. And yeah, so the process of these prediction podcasts are going to be pretty much the same as they were last season, where basically these will be individual podcasts done by myself, where I'm going to go through each fight one by one, share some of my opinions and some of my not and some of my knowledge at least of what I know of the fight so far at least, and which obviously it's not going to be a lot as it was last time, and yeah, share my predictions. So as always, definitely comment down below what your predictions are for this one, and yeah, all that stuff. I'd love to hear what you all. I'd love to hear who you all got for these fight cards, and I will tell you, like, the competitive field this season is absolutely stacked, which is gonna make predicting these episodes so much harder than it has been like any other season of BattleBots. So including it's always the hardest to predict the first few episodes because everybody's like new this year, kind of. Well, in a way, because we do have some newcomers, of course, bringing in new designs. But then even the older robots, at least, they've all undergone some changes in order to hopefully make the robot better. And so we don't know how they're going to perform, and that's why predicting the first few episodes is just so hard. But anyway, let's get underway. And as I said before, definitely comment down below your predictions. I loved hearing everybody's takes last season when I started doing these podcasts, and I would absolutely love to hear everybody's takes once again on these fight cards. So let's go ahead and get underway and talk about the first fight card. And we're going to lead it off here. Witch Doctor and Ribot leading off the season, which shocks me a little bit because it's been Sawblaze ever since Discovery took over Battlebots, starting the season off against a big name. This time it's two different robots, Witch Doctor and Ribot. So we already know from the trailer that Ribot's going the vertical spinner for that fight between their two weapons, and yeah, so this one's a difficult one because on one hand we got Witch Doctor, the runner-up, and then we got Ribot, who was the 2 seed and very dominant in many of their fights, as was Witch Doctor last season. So yeah, what this is going to come down to is who can take the other's hits better, I feel, between the two robots. It also could come down to driving as well, which we got two great drivers on each side in Mike Lately and David Jin, because both robots have exposed wheels on their sides. And definitely, I think odds are good. That's probably going to be these robots' strategy for this fight. And yeah, so as of right now, this is one I've been going a little back and forth on, but I'm going to go Witch Doctor on this fight right there, because I expect what's going to happen here. Ribot's probably going to go with their vertical spinner and wedgelets. Witch Doctor is probably going to go with the vertical spinner, but go for reach, basically. I don't think Witch Doctor is going to use forks in this. I don't know for sure whether they are or not, but yeah, because all I know about this fight is that Ribot's using the vertical spinner configuration, which we discovered that in the trailer for this season. So I'm gonna lean towards Witch Doctor on this one because I've always been having a little bit nervous about Ribot's vertical spinner configuration, kind of, and I feel I'm not confident in the wedgelets Ribot has. Like, definitely they're efficient, of course, because we saw it work very well against like P1 last season, where they used the vertical spinner and wedgelets. But Witch Doctor could very easily, with the reach of the vertical spinner, pluck off a lot of those wedgelets and possibly start sending Ribot flying, maybe get to the sides and get to some wheels, which I'm betting is what Witch Doctor is going for. But either way, though, I think this is going to be an absolute brawl of a fight. I unfortunately do not think this fight's going to go the full 3 minutes, despite like Ribot and even Witch Doctor, because they're both robots' durability was pretty solid and all that, and for the most part. So yeah, I'm gonna go Witch Doctor for this fight, but I would not be surprised if it goes in Ribot's direction, without a doubt. Okay, fight number 2, Captain Strutterator and Quantum, and I'm so glad we get to see Quantum back, because I heard Kraken was going to be a hammer saw this season, and I'm going to miss the Crusher version of Kraken. At least we're going to get a Crusher this season. because like while those robots definitely struggle for the most part against like the vertical spinner meta and all that, and just the spinner meta in general, I feel like I still want to see some robots like these because they're so cool, and Quantum is definitely no different there. And they're up against Captain Shredderator, full body spinner. Got a little bit of experience with Crushers because they took on Petunia in 2018, and yeah, so this one is a little bit of a hard matchup for Quantum, I feel, because like what Quantum is going to need to be able to do in this fight is going to be able to slow down, is going to be able to stop the spinner somehow, whether that's Captain Shredder breaking itself or Quantum pinning it in a corner or something and just slowing down the spinner to where it can bite down there. Because I don't think Quantum's going to bite down on Captain Shredderator while it's spinning. Because I think that's a little bit of a red flag and probably going to result in Quantum taking some major damage to like the teeth of the Crusher. But yeah, this one I'm going to go Quantum on this one, but I don't think it's going to. I don't think I'm not confident in that prediction because like Captain Shredderator, like definitely has been well known for all of its gremlins throughout the past few seasons, but in my opinion, Captain Shredderator has been moving in the right direction, like the past couple seasons. Like, sure, we are going to see issues here and there, but it has been moving in the right direction, in my opinion, compared to like the 2018 and 2019 version of Captain Shredderator that we saw those seasons. Like, it's performed quite a bit better, or the previous two seasons than those two seasons. And I expect there are probably going to be some improvements to try to improve that reliability within Captain Shredderator, and this is going to be a big test of whether we're going to see that, because I expect if Quantum gets a bite, especially in the top of that shell, like what Petunia got when they fought Captain Shredderator in 2018, I think Quantum's going to go right through that shell, and we could maybe see a battery fire like what we saw in Petunia and Captain Shredderator. So, yeah, like I'm going Quantum on this one because I think Quantum just needs one bite, and I think that's going to be the end for Captain Shredderator. At least one through the top, because like I feel if they went through the side of the shell, like I don't think they're probably going to do too much damage, other than maybe like change the balance in that shell, which could send Captain Shredderator out of control. But you kind of get the idea. Okay, fight number 3. We got Gruff and Ripperoni. Ripperoni, the only newcomer bot on this fight card. So, Ripperoni, I absolutely love that design. And big vertical spinner, wheels of different size on each side of that robot, and run by a lot of experienced builders. Cause like, it's run by member. Yeah, because like Ripperoni and Star Child are run by members of Uppercut, Valkyrie, and who's the last one? Who's the last one? Gosh, why am I blanking out? Why am I blanking out on this? Never mind. But yeah, they're taking on Gruff, and this one, I have a feeling Battlebots purposely set this matchup up because they want to try to go for a fuel tank explosion. Because Ripperoni is the closest to Uppercut from the recent, like, from last season, which Uppercut's not competing this season, unfortunately. So I have a feeling Battlebots is going for something like that in this fight. But yeah. I'm really gonna hope Gruff made some upgrades to like improve the durability and or improve the lifting power, improve the durability of that robot at least, because like definitely like it a lot of that's like it was a lot of fun to watch in 2019. Like it was a lot of fun to watch the past two seasons as well, but like I felt things have gone a little bit downhill for Gruff, at least the past few seasons for the most part, whether it's their own reliability or just the meta in general. Because like the meta does not favor Gruff at all here at BattleBots. But it doesn't mean like I don't want Gruff to retire or anything like that. Because like I'm always up for a huge variety of robots, and we need some lifters, and we need some flamethrower robots, and Gruff is Gruff has both of those. So yeah. So anyway, oh yeah, P1's the robot I was thinking of for Ripperoni. That last one, I just thought of that. I don't know why it left my mind like that. I've been a little bit exhausted lately, so you get the idea. But Anyway, I'm gonna go Ripperoni for this fight. I'm gonna go with the rookie on this one, but I'm not sure about this one because like this is a hard one to predict because like while we have seen Gruff in action the past 3 seasons, we haven't seen Ripperoni in action at all. Like this is a new robot this season. Sure, it might have some similarities to Uppercut at least. He's with the massive vertical spinner, but this is a new robot, and definitely it'll be exciting to see what kind of damage it can cause, at least to Gruff, but that's kind of what I'm going for. That because Ripperoni, the big thing is going to favor it is damage in this fight with the fact that it's a spinner, because there are all these rules in Battlebots that really favor spinners, and that's why I'm going to go Ripperoni for this fight, and we're going to see how much damage that thing can do. Okay, next fight, Shatter and Huge. So we got a return of two pretty big names in BattleBots, and definitely like we learned from either fight pictures or the reel that BattleBots posted online that Shatter is going with the Mary Special hammer for this one, which we saw in the fight with Blacksmith last season, which makes me believe Shatter's strategy is going to be try to go for the weapon belt on Huge. Strike that thing, disable Huge's vertical spinner, which is a pretty reasonable strategy. Because, like, I feel the best way to take on Huge if you're a hammer robot like Shatter is either disable the weapon, go for that, or try to go for the base of Huge, like what a few robots were able to do last season to take out Huge. And yeah, and so this is a difficult one to predict because because like I see either two outcomes happening. Either Shatter is going to get that weapon belt on Huge, and we're going to see Shatter just land hit after hit, basically a repeat of like Blacksmith and Shatter, for example. Shatter would disable the weapon on Huge, and it'll be a combination of a push match along with Shatter just continuing to land hit after hit on the opponent with the Mary Special Hammer. Or the other option is because I have a feeling there's probably going to be a weapon on weapon shot if Shatter's going that route. Huge is going to turn that hammer into a pretzel and then just land hit after hit on Shatter. Fortunately, Shatter did come prepared for this pretty well because they have a special armor config that we saw in that reel and in the image for Huge, providing some extra protection from that vertical spinner. But I think I'm going to go Huge on this fight, but I could definitely see Shatter pulling this one off very well too. So, yeah, yeah. So those are kind of what I kind of see how I see this fight going down, and I think this will be an exciting one for the Midway Major. So okay, next up we got two of the rookies of the year, two rookie of the year robots last season. Matter of fact, we got Glitch and Riptide, two robots that kind of came out of nowhere last season. Because on one hand, we got Glitch, went undefeated in the qualifiers, sadly had to drop out of the bracket, but then really bounced back really bounced back in Battlebots Champions, winning that entire bracket in pretty dominant fashion for the most part. And then, yeah, made the Golden Bolt tourney where they fell to Witch Doctor. They're up against Riptide, who made the top 8 last season and had some pretty dominant victories outside of that too, with their with their two exhibition fights with Jackpot and Bloodsport. So this is a difficult one to predict both these robots I think have major potential to do well in this one, and I'm going Riptide for this fight because the big thing I've always been concerned because one thing I'm curious about with Glitch is like how well did they improve the drive of that robot? Because the drive of that robot from last season was Glitch's biggest weakness. And it's like there were several robots that were taking advantage of that, and then some robots ended up getting cocky following that and going weapon on weapon with Glitch, which is always the rough part. So yeah, and it sounds like I don't think Glitch is going Forks this year, at least from what I'm hearing. I might be wrong about that. Do not take my word on that one. But that which could be a reasonable strat because they did take out the Forks for when they fought Witch Doctor in Battlebots Champions, and they seemed a little more mobile than what we saw in a lot of their other fights prior to that one. So it's possible we could see Glitch also kind of going for reach, I feel. But Yeah, Riptide can't deny the power of that egg beater, including the drive is pretty reliable. And hopefully it performs as well as it did, especially in the bracket last season. And because, like, if that robot is working as well as it did in, like, the fights with Shatter, Uppercut, and even those two exhibition matches, Riptide is going to be a monster here. And I am predicting, I think they're going to obliterate Glitch in this one. Especially if Glitch it's especially if Glitch has any of those like drive problems that we were seeing last season, which I hope is not the case because I think Glitch also has major potential to do a deep run. But yeah, this will be a great test for honestly both robots because like Riptide did have some early gremlins last season, and then Glitch the drive stuff from last season, and hopefully we get to see all that stuff, and hopefully we'll get to see lots of the improvements both these robots made, and see because I think both these robots definitely have potential for another deep run. So anyway, let's move on. So fight number 6, we got Gigabyte and free shipping, and you guys can call me crazy for this one, but Gigabyte and free shipping is actually the fight I had the hardest time predicting between this one because a lot of it is free shipping is different this year. Because like we knew free shipping the past few seasons it's partaken in as like lifter bot with a flamethrower. This time it's a spinner. So yeah, I haven't seen any fight pictures or anything like that of this one, so I don't know for sure what free shipping is planning on going with for this fight. I'm not sure if it's like a plow config like what they had for Tombstone last season, along with the vertical spinner, or not, but or if it's maybe like two thick wedges, like what we saw them use against like Uppercut and Blacksmith, for example, with the vertical spinner in the middle, kind of, or drum spinner. I'm not sure exactly. I think they got a vertical spinner and a drum spinner. I don't know exactly what to be completely honest, but like I think this is going to be an exciting match. And then on the other hand, we got Gigabyte, in which Gigabyte I believe it's going to be driven by a couple new people this season, and I don't think it's going to be driven by John Mladnick from what I have heard, but I could be wrong. That's another thing. Do not take my word on it, but okay, so why I had the hardest time predicting this, like it's both a combination of that free shipping is different this year, and we don't know how well it's going to work this year. Because like from all I know, the spinner could be the most destructive weapon we've ever seen, or it could be like a nibbler basically and not do a lot of damage. We don't know. We won't know until after we see. We won't know until after we've seen a fight or two from free shipping. And I think this is going to be regardless though, I think this is going to be an exciting one. But what worries me is like, on one hand, you might be talking about that concern, and that might be why I'm going Gigabyte. But to be completely honest, I'm actually going free shipping on this fight. So I'm gonna like I always try to go with a spicy take. This is gonna be it right there. Maybe you could count Ripperoni or Gruff as that spicy take, but I'd say picking free shipping over Gigabyte's probably the bigger one with what I've been seeing from the people who've seen the fight cards so far. But my one worry with Gigabyte is like not really that there are new drivers with Gigabyte, but this is a big problem with like all of the big horizontal spinners. Like with the reduced geometry from the upper deck being put in there, that puts horizontal spinners at a huge disadvantage, and puts like robots like free shipping at a huge advantage. Because what I bet free shipping's probably going to try to do is because like Gigabyte really focused on bite from what I heard of for upgrades for this season. They're probably going to try to Gary Jen's probably going to try to box rush Gigabyte and try to just because they won't take as much damage right there, and maybe try to do some damage here and there with the spinner this time around. And just the fact that the arena just does not favor Gigabyte, it really worries me, especially if they do have kind of new drivers. Because like, I don't know how experienced they are, at least with like, because like fighting in the battle box is different from like fighting at like Norwalk, Robo Brawl, Battlebots, Robot Wars, so on. Like it's different, and so like you gotta get knowledge on the arena. I'm not saying like these guys aren't knowledgeable on the arena or anything like that, because like I don't mean to like diss anyone or anything, because I could see this fight going either way, because like I think either free shipping's going to control the match and do some damage here and there with that spinner, or Gigabyte's going to absolutely tear free shipping apart. It could be either one, in my opinion. I could absolutely see either one happening. But regardless, I think this is going to be a really exciting match. So let's move on now to the main event. And this is a match, this is going to be exciting. We got my pick to win the Giant Nut this season, as it has been every season that Minotaur's partaken in. Minotaur, who's taking on the defending champion, Tantrum. So this one's kind of be an interesting one as well, because like we've seen from the trailer, as well as a reel that Battlebots recently posted on Instagram of this fight. So Tantrum's kind of got an interesting configuration, but I absolutely support their configuration. Basically, I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, because like what I was originally thinking when I found out this fight was going to be happening was maybe Tantrum is going to come with two wedgelets, like what they've done in previous fights. It's like what they did. I think they like what they did against several ground game opponents, and 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 such. But this one, they came with a little bit of a different configuration, which is pretty smart, because like bringing wedgelets against Minotaur was proven to be pretty unwise for most robots. Because like just take Endgame, who prepared a sturdy set of forks specifically for Minotaur, with the intent of it being able to take a lot of the big hits from Minotaur's drum spinner, but then Minotaur chewed up those forks. So what Tantrum seems to be going with, at least for configuration wise, is we know how Blip came in with a bunch of piano keys. He's piano key wedgelets. I don't know. I've been hearing that term for what Blip had last season for ground game. And what it seems like is Tantrum has one giant piano key right in the middle, kind of their robot. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but I think that's a pretty smart idea, at least. And yeah, so kind of back to talking about this fight. This one's going to come down to, like, I'd say the advantages of Minotaur in this one. I think Minotaur definitely has the more effective and the more damaging weapon between the two of them. Tantrum Spinner definitely has potential to do some serious damage, but I don't think it compares to the Drum Spinner and Minotaur. But then on the other hand, Tantrum definitely edges out on like defense and reliability, without a doubt. Because like Tantrum was able to take hits from Endgame so well, and it took hits from so many robots. Like its durability was incredible the past couple seasons, and I expect Tantrum's going to be as much of a brick this season as it was last season. So basically, I think it's going to come down. I think this fight's going to be decided after the first minute, because what I am concerned about with Minotaur is Minotaur has had a problem the past few seasons has partaken in with first round gremlins, because like last season. Because like last season they had some drum spinner issues with in the Sawblaze fight, and then Sawblaze ended up slicing through that robot and getting to battery, and then like Whiplash in 2019, drum spinner issues once again messed up some of the gear ratios and other issues within the drum spinner. And then 2018, just the fact that Tombstone is a rough matchup for Minotaur like around that time. And that's what worries me most about Minotaur, at least in this fight. Just having some of those first round gremlins, which Tantrum could very easily take advantage of, because yeah, Dylan is a phenomenal driver, and I expect this is going to be a driving war between Daniel Freitas and yeah Dylan and Alex for this one. So I'm planning on going. I gotta support my pick to win the dot. I'm choosing Minotaur for this fight, but I expect this is going to be a 3-minute brawl between these two robots, because I think both these robots definitely have the capability to survive the full 3 minutes. And but I do think this fight's probably going to be decided within like the first minute, because I think either Tantrum's going to get underneath, scoop Minotaur up, and start landing some punches and potentially damage something on that robot, or Minotaur is going to bend the front and then just start hitting Tantrum over and over again, repeated like Endgame and Tantrum from the Golden Bolt tourney. That's kind of Yeah, because like I think one of those two situations is probably going to happen, but you never know exactly. So, like, I think this is going to be a great fight either way, and I think we're going to get a heck of a main event out of this first episode. So, okay, so let's review my predictions for this one. Okay, so here are my predictions for this one. I'm going Witch Doctor, Quantum, Ripperoni, Huge, Riptide, Free Shipping, and Minotaur for this episode. Definitely comment down below your predictions for this. Like, even if you disagree with me on any of these, which I'd always love to hear what y'all have to say about this fight card, what y'all's predictions are at least, even if they differ from mine, because like that's the fun of this. That's the fun of watching this sport and being such a fan of it because like you never know what could happen in the battle box, and it's always exciting to see like how well some of these designs, how well the creations of all of these great builders, like how will all these great builders creations work in the arena. And yeah, I expect we're going to see a very entertaining first episode because Battlebots always really comes through with the first episode and comes out with a ton of entertaining bouts, and I bet we're going to get a bunch of them here. So that'll conclude it for this video. Thanks for watching this video. We will be planning on doing an episode review as we usually do, as I usually do, and we'll have the rest of the podcast crew getting involved in those as they usually do, and hopefully we'll do. And I look to continue doing builder interviews as what I did last season because those were some of the most fun podcasts I've ever done. Getting to talk with some of the builders about their fights, and hopefully we'll get to see some of that stuff once again. So. Thanks for watching this video. Once again, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and comment down your predictions, as I've said 3 to 4 times already. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.